Is Songkhla the prettiest little city in Thailand? Let's find out in this episode of Seeker of the Way. So we're just on the edge of the old part of the city here. As you can see, they've got a nice little sign, Songkhla Old Town. And they've got a kind of a parody of the Beatles' Abbey Road artwork over here with some traditional looking heads superimposed on the figures. And then this one looks like it could be the old city gate, which I think I remember, and a bit of the old wall there as well. All right, let's swing along the riverfront road here. This interesting looking old building, and these interesting looking old men as well here. Old motorbike taxi driver, I think it is. Hello, how are you? Nice, nice. So already some very nice looking old heritage buildings, and this place, this old warehouse, is actually the Songkhla Heritage Trust. Let's have a look inside. Okay, so yeah, it's an old warehouse, and some pictures from times gone by. The old city wall, old city gate there, layout of the old town. Songkhla towards World Heritage Site. Okay, yeah, I would say it's got a good chance. Japanese World War II soldier here. Songkhla Old Town. There's a really nice model here of how it used to look with the city walls around it. So this is my third trip to Songkhla. Every time I've been here, it's been scorching hot. This is the replica of this building. And today is no exception. It's like absolutely roasting. It makes it very difficult, actually. Some bits of old building here and map of the old town. But this place wasn't here last time I was here. So you can see they're really putting some energy into developing the city more for tourism. This is a really nice photo. So the city is actually on a peninsula, and then there's another peninsula on this side, and there's this huge lagoon, massive one. And we'll talk maybe about that in another episode, but there was an ancient city on this side. Yeah, it was actually called Singora, not to be confused with Singapore. So an old rendering, I think, of that place perhaps. There's an old fort on the other side still. This is a picture of it. And another picture of it here. And yeah, so from the writings they talk about Chinese traders came here and did a lot of stuff back in the day as well, like everywhere where there were seaports around Southeast Asia, and it's right up on the side of the seaport still. Being an old warehouse, of course, you'd unload straight out of the ships into the warehouse. Let's head back out. Birds up there having a bit of fun. So, nice place, and hello, how you doing? I'm glad to be not carrying sacks of rice today. It's hard enough as it is anyway with the heat. And yeah, so this town's come a long way since the first time I came here. And I noticed it particularly in the second visit, but even more now. So in the second visit, the whole street art thing started to really take off. And there were a handful of new cafes back then, a few decent ones. And I can already see now that there are a lot more cafes, and I definitely anticipate there'll be a lot more street art as well. So I'm looking forward to it. So it's become a place firmly on the tourist map, you can say. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi.
Some street art here, mural work in this little alleyway. So already seeing some new artwork around here, and young Thais definitely seem quite enamored by the place nowadays. It was pretty quiet the first time I came through, definitely not on the tourist radar at all. Second time it was starting to take off. Young people, like in a few other smaller, nice looking places in Thailand, were getting together in little groups and setting up art projects and cafes and so on. And it's just obviously escalated. It's become quite a thing across Thailand now for the nicer little provincial towns that were basically just being abandoned by the older generation and left to rot. So yeah, this is really great, I have to say. It's getting better and better. So it's a bit of a challenge. A lot more traffic now than there used to be, and I can say mostly they seem like rubberneckers, people who are too lazy to walk through, people who drive into the town from other places to have a look. It was quite challenging to actually film the intro here, and people were kind of dive bombing, like jumping behind me to take photos, selfies and so on when I was trying to film the intro. Had to do it about 5 times. Having said that, I wouldn't go so far as to say it's over-touristed yet, but I could imagine it's on the way to that. But having a look, you can see it's all domestic tourism pretty much. Haven't seen any foreigners here at all. I mean, apart from a couple groups of Malaysians. We're not far from the Malaysian border. Haven't seen Europeans here so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if I see 1 or 2 at some point. I actually think I did see 1 or 2 earlier, come to think of it. So you'd be wise to get in before it does get too crowded. There was a Songkhla driver back there. Of course, he's a local transport. He was driving at high speed on this small road, honking his horn aggressively at me to get out of the way. I wasn't actually in the way, I was to one side. But it just shows you, you know, this thing where people kind of whine when they don't get enough money coming in from tourism because the numbers are down because of different problems, quite often self-inflicted ones. And then when tourism starts picking up, they get annoyed that there are more people wandering around the streets. It's ironic, isn't it? It's ironic, right? Yeah, exactly. So this one is clearly a replica of the old city gate. I thought the first time I came here there was the original city gate along this corner, around this corner somewhere. But maybe I'm just imagining that. But look at all the traffic. The first time I came here you could walk the whole old town, all of it, and you'd see like 3 or 4 people maybe. And now it's kind of busy, so that's not a problem, right? But I can say some people drive faster than they should, and or slower than they should. They do kind of odd things, like cut right in front of you, things like that. But anyway, it's not too bad. It's just the heat makes it that it feels like a bit difficult, to be honest, you know. If it were not so hot, I wouldn't really think anything of it, probably just that the place is taking off as a popular kind of destination. Let's keep on going though, folks, and oh, that's nice. I could do with pedicure right now as well. I have my feet, have sore feet now. Yeah, I do have sore feet a bit, guys. I've been on the road for over a couple months now, but yeah, it's almost a traffic jam in here. So I would suggest, guys, really get in here as early as you can. Use Hat Yai as your base, preferably, and take the earliest van you can get in the morning while it's still a bit cool. Nice picture of a boat there. Plenty of street art. The temple down the end there. Yeah, get in here while it's still cool, before the sun gets too high up, so you get the shade from these lovely old buildings, and before all the rubberneckers get out of bed and head in here. And I think you'll find it's a really nice experience. But it is gorgeous, isn't it? There seems to be this thing in Thailand about these, what are they called? Like, I forgot what they're called. Like some kind of robotic type humanoid things from cartoons. And you see them all over the place, very popular. I don't know what it's supposed to be, part of a Power Ranger or part of a Transformer or something else. Not quite sure about that. But there's a lot of transforming that happens in Thailand. From this to that and the other. Yeah, we won't say more about that right now, but anyway. Lovely place. Good spot for eating in there, it looks like. Little massage place. You might need it if you come in the hottest time of the day with the mad dogs and Englishmen or Kiwis or whatever. Yeah, right? I should have been here in the morning. Sometimes I forget my own lessons, the things I recommend for you guys, and then I forget to do them myself, right? Anyway, you think I would have learned, right? Third trip to Songkhla. Here I am in the hottest time of the day, yet again. But anyway, I am enjoying it a lot. I'm really, really happy to come back, and I'm really happy to see that the place is continuing the trend of developing into a very lovely spot on the map, and that they're trying to take care of the old buildings and make it better and better. It's nice to see it. Once you start learning the history of these seaports and these different types of regional centers with trading with locals and Chinese and Portuguese merchants, Arabian merchants, all kinds of people crisscrossing the world coming through this way, it really makes the whole thing light up and become much more colorful when you know some of the backstories to all this kind of stuff. Hello, how you doing? Nice looking cafe you have. So yeah, you can see for yourself, and nice little alleyways running down to the river side there where the sea meets the lagoon, and Ellie's going the other way. So how long will it be until they figure out they might want to set up designated parking areas on the edge of the old town to get rid of this problem of the rubberneckers driving around and making it difficult for people to actually walk along? Because if you've noticed, there are not really proper sidewalks around here. It's a very cool one. Sometimes you can squeeze between parked cars and the buildings, but other times not. So you're quite often forced to coexist with the cars on the street, which is pretty typical of the region, of course, but yeah. So you can see it's actually a reasonable size old town, even though it's like a small city or a large town, but the actual old town part is a good size. So it makes it, you know, a destination in its own right. But you've got Hat Yai only about 45 minutes away by van, aircon van, very comfortable, good condition vehicles, easy to get in and out quickly and comfortably. So, you know, Hat Yai is a destination in its own right as well. And if you've checked out my episode on Hat Yai, you'll see it's got a lot to offer. It's a very unique city, not like any other city in Thailand at all. So this is just like really kind of an extra bonus, but it'd be worth coming here just to see this place, even if Hat Yai were not there. But you've also got the rest of the Deep South, which you'll see in different episodes from my channel as well. Places like Yala, Narathiwat, Patani, and some of the interesting border crossings, the train line running through that part of the country, A lot of cool stuff, even though most people are too afraid to come to this region. And why are many foreign tourists afraid to come here to little old Songkhla? Well, it's a Muslim majority region. The Deep South of Thailand is all Muslim majority, pretty much, the Deep South. And there are sometimes incidents that happen, extremist violence, and also from the government side towards the Muslim population. And if you see my border crossing video about Tak Pai, crossing into Malaysia from Thailand, or vice versa, you'll find out more about that as well. Some pretty terrible things have happened, terrible massacres. So it's something to think about. You've got to keep it in mind, of course, but Songkhla and Hat Yai are considered to be on the edge of the danger zone, so to speak, but they haven't had that many incidents like in, well, Hat Yai they've had some incidents, but I haven't really heard of anything happening here before. Doesn't mean it wouldn't though, does it? Right? Of course it could. Maritime Silk Road heritage. This looks very pretty, doesn't it? Is it actually old, or has it been just kind of built to look old? I don't know, but it looks pretty cool. So back there you can see there was a Buddhist temple. Up here on the left, a Chinese temple or shrine, or maybe it's a clan house. There are a lot of new things, old things I can say, that have been renovated and repurposed, and a lot of improvements that have happened since I was here last time. So in general, the trend is looking really, really good. And I would say it's definitely a good time to get in and have a look. And it's just my humble and very modest, slightly expert opinion, because someone's got to be an expert, right? And I've been like almost everywhere notable in Thailand. Hello. But I would have to say it's the prettiest small city or big town in Thailand. It's definitely one of my favorites, and well, you know, that's just my opinion, but you guys have to make up your mind yourselves, so you better get yourselves down here, right? I'd be interested to hear what Thai people think about if this could be the most beautiful small city in Thailand. Hi, this one is Thai dessert. Nice. Is Songkhla the most beautiful city in Thailand? So, hi, what's your name?
Nom.
And can you tell me, is Songkhla the most beautiful city, small city in Thailand?
Yes, absolutely beautiful.
I mean the city, not you. Very nice, very nice. Hello. Is Songkhla the most beautiful city in Thailand? Yeah? You think so? I think so too, yeah. So there you have it, guys. And I think you can take the word from the traveling Thai holiday makers, because they are the ones who can tell you from their own experience. They have a bit more insider knowledge than even the seeker of the way. As much as I know, there are little things that only a local knows who speaks Thai, for example. Okay, someone's bringing some snack for someone, for me. Is that for me? Is that for me? No, not for me. Had my hopes up there for a minute, guys. Could do with a bit of lunch, actually. It's a good place to get something to eat around here when you've got a moment to spare. But I've got a job to do right now. I've got some duties to fulfill for you guys. So we'll keep on with that for a bit first. Very interesting place. It's always interesting to see how the Thais live. Hello, how are you? And interesting little cafe and bar there. I normally don't really like it when cafes and bars are one item, but that one does look kind of interesting actually. And of course you could always overnight here as well if you have time, and that would be a nice way to get out on the streets nice and early when it's still cool out, when it's lovely and quiet. Have the place to yourself, have some breakfast with the locals, bit of congee, rice porridge. It's always a nice one to start the day. You can catch a van from the clock tower in Hat Yai for, at the moment, 48 baht to the clock tower in Songkhla. And also going back, you jump on a van on the other side of the road here in Songkhla. And no doubt, unbeknownst to most people, there's a train station in Songkhla, which I believe closed down in 1978, but still very interesting. Let's have a look around. There's actually a pretty cool little market outside the train station where you can grab something to eat or drink, and it's actually only 1 block away from where the van stops to let you in to Songkhla or when you're leaving. And hill there with the temple just here, nice, and it's basically right next to the old town. Let's look inside. So it's seen better days. Some people seem to be squatting in here or around about, like on the platform. It's an old train here. A couple people down the end sleeping there. And I've heard they might be thinking about starting up service again here, which would be pretty cool for tourism and the locals as well. There's a cool old cafe here. I've heard this has been running for over 100 years. Local gents playing checkers, hello, and chess. Hello. Some newspapers and reading material. Not a bad spot to have a wee drink or a snack. Very interesting local style here. It's got the little kitchen in the back here. It's got an espresso machine here as well. This train's seen better days, huh? Maybe there are better days to come. Oh, packs of wild dogs. One's got a collar. Welcome back to Thailand, guys. Tons of them. Well, that's the problem you don't really run into in, say, Indonesia or Malaysia, for example. Being Muslim countries, they're not too fond of having packs of wild dogs roaming around. They consider them to be a bit unclean. We're here at the Golden Mermaid statue at the beach in Songkhla. It's walking distance to the old town. Let's have a little peek around here. So in general, it's fairly typical of a lot of beaches that you find along the east coast and some parts of the west coast of Thailand. The sand is okay, the water quality is reasonable, but if you want the really powdery sand and the really clear water, you definitely want to head to the islands off the coast at different points in Thailand. But I don't think that's what was on the mind of the huge number of Japanese who disembarked by ship here on the 18th of December 1941. They were not on a package tour, and they were certainly not here to fight for their rights to set up their own nightlife area in Bangkok. That came much later, or a bit later. But that was what they were doing. Was they were here as part of the conflict in World War II. They landed on this beach and beaches south of here in Patani and points north of here, different areas like Prachuap Khiri Khan and other places. And they basically swept down into what is today Malaysia, what was then Malaya, to kick the British out of there and headed on down to Singapore for the famous capture of Singapore, which shocked the world back in those days. But it's a nice beach here. Hey guys. Nice beach, yeah. Many nice looking beaches in Thailand. And if you have a Thai person say that, their pronunciation will give you a giggle.
Thailand have beautiful beaches.
Thailand have beautiful beaches. Thailand have beautiful beaches.
And that's why pronunciation is so important when learning, guys and girls. I need something like this for my YouTubing, but a little bit higher up off the ground would be nice. It gets pretty tiring, you know, guys. Need some more coffee, so don't forget to hit that buy me a coffee link, chaps and chapesses. Much like the rest of the deep south of Thailand, this region is very popular with tourists from Malaysia. You can grab something to eat right next to the beach here. Who cares about zoning laws, right guys? If you pay the right pockets. I'd have to say this beach here at Songkhla is probably my favorite mainland beach in Thailand. Of course, being in Southeast Asia is not spotless, okay, but it's cheap and cheerful. Just half a block from the beach down there, there's this cable car which takes you up to the top of this hill where there's a little temple, if you can bear the heat and the monkeys, which might be friendly or not. So you do have to be careful about monkeys in places like this. The cheeky little buggers, they'll try to grab stuff off you like your GoPro camera, sunglasses, umbrella, etc. It's very dangerous being a YouTuber around here. Of course, if you've had a great history of playing football like I have, you always know how to do a good punt if you have to. Bit of an old school looking hotel here. Just across from the hill where the monkeys like to hang out. Oh, look out. It's all kicking off here in Songkhla. So Songkhla is actually a port, and there's a massive lagoon inland here. And on the other side, it's actually a peninsula. And the sea is out this side. And there was an ancient city on the edge of the peninsula here to kind of guard the waterway. It was a really important port in ancient times. You can take a ferry boat across from this side over to that side for a very low price as well. Another old classic looking hotel option there. Songkhla's National Museum seemed to have doubled as a strong point, maybe a fort back in the old times. And it's just on the edge of the old town these days. Wooden building down the end there. And remnant of the ancient city wall here as well. So, is Songkhla the most beautiful small city in Thailand? In my opinion, it probably is. I would say tentative yes. I would like to hear what you guys have to say about it. And I would like to say thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Hit subscribe, like, drop us a comment, and hit the buy me a coffee link, or you can support the channel direct through YouTube, which would be much appreciated. See you in the next one, and don't be late.